Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Findlay Family YMCA proudly brings to you its podcast heard around the world. The place where you belong. The place where you stay informed. The Y Guy Podcast. And with that, we are here with the first episode of the Y Guy Podcast, the first ever. And as promised, I told you I'd have some special or big time guests on the podcast. And we're starting it off big, and we were very lucky to get her with her busy schedule. But without further ado, we have the CEO of the Findlay YMCA, Stephanie Parsons, here today. Welcome to the podcast, Steph.
Well, thanks for having me, Derek. What an introduction, and what a blessing to have our first podcast here. Not sure I'm worthy of the first podcast, but let's kick it off.
Yeah, no, you're worthy. You're worthy. And like I said before, this is super low-key, so we're going to have some fun. We'll mess up, but we're excited to have Steph here today. Also, a fun fact about Stephanie is were you a 1,000-point scorer in high school, or were you a couple points short?
I was a couple points short, and, you know, if you'd ask my coaches, it's because I fouled out all the time. So, just shy of that, though. Love
it. Well, needless to say, she's an athlete. But anyway, let's jump right into it, Steph. With that being said, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, where'd you grow up?
Oh, so I think going back to my days of playing sports brought me back to Columbus Grove, Ohio, which most people recognize if I say the county, which is Putnam County.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs. Born and raised in Columbus Grove, graduated from Columbus Grove, had 3 other siblings. I was the youngest. I was the baby. You can ask my brothers and sisters. I wasn't the common baby of the family, though.
Oh. So in Columbus Grove, how far is that roughly from Findlay?
So it's west of here, about 25 minutes it takes.
Minutes. Okay.
25 miles away from Findlay, Ohio.
Okay. Awesome.
So when we would always go to the big city, it would be Findlay.
Sure, gotcha, okay.
Living in the country there.
And in Columbus Grove, did they have bed races there?
Oh my gosh, let me just tell you. Some of my best times were at the June Jubilee.
June Jubilee, love it.
And I remember the day I used to line the streets, and the high school seniors would create these beds, and they'd race them down Main Street of Columbus Grove. Best thing.
That is awesome. You know, I grew up in Forest, Ohio, so we have the Forest Fest, but we didn't do anything crazy like the June Jubilee with bed races. So coming from a little redneck town myself, I think that takes the cake. But anywho,
I think we need to do it in Findlay. Bring it here.
That would be awesome,
right?
Could you imagine? Maybe we'll get Mayor Murrin on the line and see if we can make that happen.
I think we need to give her a shout. You know, we did do the boat races, which was close last year, Derek.
Yeah, we did. There's a plug. Battle of the Businesses, Friday, August 16th. If you haven't signed up for it, go ahead and do that. That's awesome. We
Good
get
time.
DJ and everything out there, and boat races in the pool and food trucks. So sign up. Thanks for that. A little shameless plug for that event there. Yeah. Since we're talking about the Y, I guess, how long have you worked at the YMCA?
Yeah, so I started my career about 17 years ago at the YMCA. Entered at a level where I was just part-time, working the wellness floor. Knew that a minute I walked into the Y, it just meshed with my lifestyle. I believed in their mission, loved the people. I was promoted in that year to become the wellness director. So I've actually probably held about every position at the YMCA in some capacity. Just love it. Love being there. Yeah. Love the mission.
Sure, absolutely. And it's really been 17 years.
17 years.
That's crazy.
Seems like I just, everybody says that. Time flies by. But yeah, it's been 17 years. I walked through those doors 17 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. I guess I knew it was long, but not that long. Well, good for you. Congrats. That's
Thanks.
That's an accomplishment for sure. So I guess what made you want to work at the YMCA from the start?
That's a good long story. I'll make it short. But I remember the day, graduating college. Come on, we've all been there. And your parents say, now what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Now you're grown up. What are you going to do? And I always was fascinated with the Y.
Yeah.
But knew it was really hard to come across a position in the YMCA that's very competitive. So I actually started my career path in a physical therapy center.
Okay.
And then, I just found this part-time gig at the Y and knew I wanted a career immediately when I walked in.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I begun.
That's awesome. And, I think that's probably how we all kind of get started into it. It's like, I started as a camp counselor myself, which is crazy to think, but I guess I'm a big.
I remember those days,
myself.
Derek.
Oh yeah. But you can't really explain it. Like once you walk in, you're like, yeah,
it sucks you in.
It is. It's like such an awesome place. It's welcoming. It's family oriented. It's just I always say it, and I've told you this before. It's the best job I've ever had in my life. So. I don't ever feel like I'm going to work.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be with my family, extended family,
Ditto. And, you make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, yeah.
It's rewarding. It's a job that you walk in and every day is different. Meaning you could walk in one day and be in meetings and the next day you're swimming with kids or out at camp.
Yeah.
It's just a very engaging, rewarding job.
Yeah, it is. And I always tell people too, I'm like, I have this list of things I'm going to do today. So I might not get to that list because I might be, out at, like you said, out at camp or over at our daycare or wherever. But that's what makes it fun. You get to be involved and integrated with other departments and meet all kinds of people and all that fun stuff.
Absolutely.
I should preface too, like, sorry I have a cold. I'm like kind of stuffed up. It's kind of like a squatter that just moves in and just won't leave,
Yeah.
So,
I was kind of worried about that.
Yeah.
Glad I'm not sharing a mic with you.
I probably should have said that at the beginning. People are like, why is he so stuffed up? But good Lord.
Keeping my distance over here. I'm not sharing that
seriously.
mic.
Goodness gracious. And now we're already off topic. But anyway, kind of bringing it back.
That's common.
Yeah. This is us. Yeah. What's that song? I think it's from The Greatest Showman. This is me. When the sharpest words want to cut me down. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm not real good with music, though, Derek.
Musicals.
Oh, that's you. That's all you.
Yeah, man, many people don't know that about me. I love musicals. I used to have a season pass to the Dayton, I think it's the Schuster Center in Dayton. So I would go down about 5 times a year and watch musicals. Yeah.
I know you have a good voice.
I wouldn't go that far.
You do.
But I do enjoy a good musical. So yeah, probably my favorite one is Greatest Showman. If anybody has not watched that, if you haven't watched it, you should check it out. It's kind of older, but
I will.
Yeah, good.
We have a good partner here, a collaborative partner, the Marathon Arts, Performing Arts.
Oh yes.
Have great shows too. They just came out with their release of their new shows.
Yes.
Not sure if you've seen that.
Oh,
Did you get there?
I'm trying to.
Yep.
With my 2 kids, the schedule's a little crazy, but I also thought about auditioning one time for one of those musicals.
Yeah,
but I don't got the time. But I don't know. My boss at the Y has me doing all this stuff.
I know.
She's kind of
get busy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what's your favorite thing about working at the Y? I guess.
I get this question a lot. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
What brought you there? What do you enjoy? And it's so hard to identify the number one thing. What I enjoy most about the Y. I think if I had to label it, it's definitely the mission. I love the people. I love the people I work with. I love the volunteers I work with. And more importantly, the members.
Yeah.
The members are just absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. You walk in and we all have jokes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gene is one of a common one that we have jokes with about his hair.
Oh, yeah. Gene's the best.
Gene's the best.
Love Gene. Yeah. I think I'd echo that, too. The members probably, for me, is what makes it, obviously my coworkers, too, but, you have the single mom with
5 kids that comes in, and she comes in your office. You know, the Y is such a safe place, and it's been great for me to take my kids, and it's a safe place for them to be, and you hang on to those stories. You know,
So right.
So I think that's what I like the most. Now we have our complaints too, but you know, for every one complaint, I always say there's 18 people saying
Feedback's a gift. We learned that, right?
But we're not perfect, but you know, we do the best that we can, and I think most people appreciate that, and we appreciate them mostly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I wanted to talk more about that. You had said there's different types of members, and we don't share that story enough, do we?
No,
you know?
I would agree 1,000%.
We hear it daily, and we keep it internal, but we have anywhere from, you know, kids that we hear now, they're adults that say the Y has saved their life, and some great mentors throughout our organization and past history.
Absolutely.
Which is something that we don't share a lot in our community.
Right.
The impact we have.
Yeah, and it goes so far. Like you said, people come back. Like I remember when I was here when I was little, and they're 80 years old now. You know, it's like, and I remember the Y and how awesome it was to be here, and yeah, it's great. I remember myself being at the Y. You know, and my mom signed me up for gymnastics. Like, what's a 6'3", 250-pound kid going to be in gymnastics for? But thanks again for that, Mom. But I remember doing gymnastics, and I'm just like, it's so crazy. You know, you remember stuff about the Y, or doing like gray Y basketball. Yeah, so I kind of, it's, I guess, a Y brat, right? When you say that. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that either. I mean, we have an open doors financial assistance program.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Some people are like, I can't afford the Y. Well, we have that application. You sign up for that application for that membership. I mean, you can get a discount on your membership. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that either. You know, we have a lot of options to get you in. If you can't afford it, we can work with you, and you know, we're not there to rip anybody off. We want to get as many people in the facility as possible.
Yeah.
So
I think we'd put a plug out. You know, we'd love to hear your stories. You know, to our members, the community.
Yeah.
Everybody has a Y story, and we love hearing them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's kind of one of my plans too on the podcast, is get somebody in.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Tell me your story. Tell me your Y story. You know, your story in general, just to kind of share, and so people know. You know, we're not on here telling you, hey, just come to the Y. It's great. I mean, it is, but like, you can hear from people that are there every day that aren't affiliated with the staff. So
the impact that the Y has had on their life is absolutely amazing.
It's crazy.
It's impacted my life in so many different ways, just working for the great organization it is. So
yeah, it is awesome.
Here's something you didn't know.
Uh-oh.
I actually met my husband for the first time at the YMCA.
Did you really?
Oh, Ryan Parsons, yes, sir.
Hey, shout out Ryan Parsons. Wow. So, how long ago was that?
Oh, man. Why'd you ask that question? I think we're approaching 20 years, but I got to say, I think we're at 19 right now, so.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Now, since we already mentioned Ryan Parsons, sorry, Ryan, that you're on the podcast now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Does he come to the Y to exercise, or does he need to get there more, or what?
You know, shout out to Ryan again. We're going to get you there. His goal this summer is he's going to bring the kids a lot more.
I
so
like that. Yeah.
Come on, Ryan.
Speaking of kids, we have 4.
Right? We have 4.
The Parsons kids. Love those kids. Gosh, I can't wait till they get older either.
Thank you.
Which I guess kind of leads me to the next question. So what do you do outside of work? You know, when people hear what you do at work, what do you do outside of work?
Yeah, so like you just mentioned, you know, I step outside the Y door and I put my other hat on, and as a mother of 4 amazing blessings, they're at the age where they want to play everything, do everything, and so we have to settle them down and say, hey, let's just do one sport right now, or, you know, one piano lesson. So my time outside is spent with my family, and that's number one, right, is
absolutely
the kiddos, and they got to grow up through the Y, which was such a blessing to see. They grew up through the Child Development Center, learned lots of core values, created such good character for them. You know, they're such good souls. Yeah,
they're awesome. I can attest to that. I always love playing with them when they're in there and giving them stuff and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's I don't honestly know how you have time to do stuff. I don't know how you have time to be the CEO and be mob, and then, I mean, there's only 24 hours of the day, so kudos to you, because I sit there and think all the time, I'm like, I mean, I got stuff to do at work, but like not nearly as much as you've got going on. And then I'm being dad too, and I'm exhausted. But then I'm like, you know what? Steph can do this. I can do it. You know, I'm like, holy smokes! I don't have anything to complain about. So I mean, kudos to you for that. Absolutely.
Oh, you know, there's so many. There's millions of other people that do that day in and day out, and I think that's the blessing of having the position I have is. You know, my kiddos are engraved in great programs, a great organization. They see us working hard. Yeah. They see us volunteering, and they want to jump in and do the same. So it's just, I think it's, like I said, impactful for my life and my family.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not trying to get a raise here, but I don't think I've worked for anybody better. That, you know, you keep us with our work-life balance, and that's super important for you.
Thanks, Derek.
I appreciate that. But if you do want to send an extra...
Yeah, I'll put that on your next check.
A couple $1,000 my way, that would be great. Anyway, you know, talking about the why, I guess continuing on that conversation, we have a ton of events that happen.
Oh, man.
But I want to know... what's your favorite one?
Derek. Wow.
I'm just throwing you all kinds of fastballs today, catching you off guard.
Gosh. Man. I have to pick one? I guess I would go through how my family was impacted, and I'd have to give lots of kudos to our Child Development Center.
Yeah.
What an honor we have to put little individuals in and grow their character.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing program that my kids went through. They learned how to swim.
Yeah.
Through that program. That's something that most individuals do not know is our program teaches the kiddos to learn to swim. I'd say that's at my top of the list, just identifying, you know, how we've been impacted as a family. We have such amazing programs. We go anywhere from swim lessons. We have the Greg Schrader free swim program right now out in the community. We have a youth triathlon that's coming down the pipe. But our common programs, you know, I used to teach aerobics.
Yeah.
Got to get back into that.
Yeah. They tried to get me to do hip-hop dance.
Oh, you would be amazing.
I was like, there's no way.
But what relationships you build.
Yeah.
You know, I still have some really good friendships from, you know, being an aerobics instructor, and we don't give them enough credit, those aerobics. They do so much for the organization.
Gosh, yeah.
They create endless playlists, and the people that go through that program is just impressive, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I could keep going on, Derek.
Yeah.
How do you pick one?
I don't know. I mean, we do a lot. You know, it's funny you talk about programs. I remember when I did spin class for the first time.
Oh.
And I had no idea. I thought, how hard is it to ride a bike? You know, you get on, you pedal, easy. Whatever. So I hop on, you know, and I start pedaling, and they say, okay, well, let's turn the tension to a quarter turn. I said, well, what do you mean a tension? Like, oh, this knob, you turn this. Oh, okay, got it. So there is some restriction here. So then we were up and down and up and down, and I was dying. And the lady beside me, I think she was in her 60s for sure, was making fun of me the entire time. So now every time I see her, her name is Sue, she comes in, she always reminds me. She's like, remember that time you did spin class? I was like, yeah, I do remember, but anyway. But yeah, our programs are awesome. Oh. I mean, we've got cradle to grave, you know, all kinds of, like, anything from being 2 years old to 180 if you're lucky enough to be that old. Yeah, I don't know how you would pick stuff. We do a lot of awesome things.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many to choose from. You go to our swim program, and then, you know, to Jerry's, all his camps and sports programs. My kids learned how to play a lot of sports through the YMCA, and guess what? It was affordable.
Yeah.
My little girl wanted to do gymnastics, and I was like, oh, Lena, let's listen here. Is this going to be, you know, your thing? Yeah. Let's try it at the Y. And Miss Tina, she still talks about Miss Tina in our gymnastics program.
That's awesome. You know, you make an impact when you have kids, and adults alike talking about their time they had at the Y.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and rip the big Band-Aid off with the next question.
Let's do it.
Because it's the talk of the town.
It is, I think. I think I know where you're going with this, Derek.
1,000% do. And I'm curious myself. We're talking about the capital campaign.
Yes.
I should have like one of those bell things where you
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard, podcast listeners, we are going to be building a new facility.
We are.
At the Findlay location, or I guess the downtown location. Why? And little upgrades to the East Branch. I don't know why I keep talking about it. You can share this, but so the capital campaign is live and happening currently. Correct?
It's correct.
Yeah. So I guess feel free to share any updates that you have about the capital campaign, or kind of what's going on with that.
I would love to dive into that. You know, you're right. It's a need. It's going to be impactful for our community, but. You know, if I had to explain anything or thank a lot of people, our volunteers, our board of directors, day in and day out, you know, are wrapping their arms around this project. And a key phrase that always comes to mind is, I say this a lot, and you know it's on my door, is where you walk, leave a path.
Right.
And if I could explain that a little bit more, we're creating a future. We're leaving a legacy here within the community. And I think resilience comes to mind too. We've been resilient through all this. We've had some curveballs, but I just, you know, it's here and we're going to do it. So let me talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
So we have a phased project. Phase 1, as you know, in the community, and I think there's been a lot of talk about Northwest Ohio being a desert for child development.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And we knew quickly that we were already facing it within our organization. We knew. So we had to approach our project in a phased approach, meaning we wanted to get that one. It was a community need. It had to happen sooner than later. So we phased that first. So we'll build a new ELC, and it's an early learning center. Our plan is to break ground in August.
Of this year?
Of this year.
Wow.
Of this year.
Love it.
So funding is looking great. Still, you know, we're getting some more funding every day.
Yeah, sure.
Lots of supporters, lots of donors. I can't thank our donors enough just for believing in us, believing in our project. It's definitely a community need. So we plan to build a facility that will be licensed for 283 children. If anybody knows what, you know, we're in right now, is we're in an office building that was created into a child development.
Right.
Which is, it did its duty, right? It was great.
Yeah.
But the time has come where we need to expand. And I think the blessing of this all is it's going to be a center of excellence. And let me explain that a little bit more. A center of excellence is we are going to wrap our arms around other child development centers that need assistance. We'll do trainings throughout. We'll have areas for college kids, you know, here at U of F, or right here live right now.
Yeah.
Those kids have the opportunity to come into our center and learn.
Yeah.
Creating a career path for individuals.
Yeah.
And allowing other child development centers to ask questions, to dive in, and we would assist in that. So that was one of some of the state conversations we're having around the Center of Excellence. So we have a great staff, and you know that.
Oh,
you know, you got Carrie Redmond leading the charge.
Love her.
Such a blessing to have. I know I use that word a lot, but she's a key component. Mm-hmm. You talk about Nicole Goshi. You fire a question at her, she has an answer, and she's amazing when it comes to licensing.
Yeah.
And then you got key individuals at the helm. You got Heather Moore. You got Lindsay. I know she got remarried. I know her as Smith, but she got remarried. So Lindsay, sorry about that. And then Sandra. They're all key components. And then you have individuals like Kim Russler that's been there for 25 years in some of the rooms, and just great staff that we can move over and to a key new facility.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously, like you said, much needed for the ELC, and what a blessing that'll be for our community. And
100%.
have that center of excellence to branch out, just to help people. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's the YMCA anyways, to help as many people as we can. And
You're right.
I know. I'm super excited about it, and my own kids being at the daycare right now. So I don't think my oldest one will make it into the new one, but my youngest one will for sure. So I'm excited about that as a parent myself, and taking my YMCA hat off and putting on my parent hat. I could not be more appreciative of the daycare staff. They're awesome. On top of things, reminding me when I need to bring diapers and all that fun stuff. And we have not had a teacher there that has been bad since I've had my kids there. So we are very thankful, the Draper family is, for the YMCA CDC, not the Center for Disease Control. Although they probably are the Center for Disease Control at times.
Oh, yeah. When you put your kid in, that's the first thing you get.
Right. That's probably where I got my cold from, is those kids. But the CDC is Child Development Center, for anybody wondering what that stands for in YMCA terms. But, yeah, they do a great job. Phenomenal job over there, and we're blessed to have the staff that we have.
I couldn't agree with you 100%. The other opportunity is just getting workforce back into, and we've had lots of conversations with organizations and reaching out our hand and saying, we have spots available to get people back in to a career path that they so want to be in. Also affordable, we do offer scholarships. So if you're a little bit, looking for some resources, we do have that opportunity. If you can't afford daycare, but you want to get back into a career path, just reach out to Carrie Redmond and we can walk you through all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of talked about the early learning center that will be built for the capital campaign. The downtown branch, new facility, will that kind of go on the same property that it's at now?
Yeah, so I guess I just stopped at phase 1, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so phase 2. I'm
learning today too.
So phase 2 would be a brand new downtown YMCA with a healthcare partner. So excited about the healthcare partner, which can drive a lot of resources for our community, including a cooking kitchen. That we know 90% of the battle is about nutrition. Right. And having that healthcare partner right on campus is going to be just eye-opening for our community. Absolutely. One-stop shop right there to get our health needs intact, right? And we talk about, I know you mentioned, Derek, like where is this? Where's it located? It's right behind our current facility on the property, kind of east of us.
Sure.
So the plan is to build, east of the property. We would never lose. We wouldn't close down our current facility, meaning that we're hoping on a Sunday we close up the one building, we open the other one. So nobody will ever not have access to any of the facilities. Awesome. We'll always keep that membership live. So
awesome. That's great news.
And then there's the exciting part about the East Branch, which I always say it's our hidden gem.
Oh, it by far. That's a no-brainer.
Right?
Yeah.
You got those beautiful indoor tennis courts. So there's going to be a renovation around the East Branch, which we expanded some multi-sport complex out there, giving some more, availability for pickleball players. Yeah. What a growing sport, right?
Pickleball is nuts.
Wow.
I thought when I first played pickleball, I was like, okay, it kind of looks fun, I guess. And they're like, you want to play? I was like, yeah, sure. Holy smokes. I was like addicted. It is awesome. I love pickleball. Some of those people are good.
Derek, we did that for
our
Christmas party. We decided to do pickleball.
We sure did. I was sweating bullets by the time that was over.
Got a little competitive, but we I went out and bought my paddle too.
Oh, mine's in my trunk right now. So I got a pickleball and a paddle in my trunk. So whenever I see one I want to play, I'm hopping out. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Pickleball. Yeah. Wow. What a cool sport.
I know. See, we got off task again.
Yeah.
I know. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the East Branch updates.
Oh, the capital campaign.
And the capital campaign. I think you said you were going to put a batting cage in it, or is that just me telling you?
Now, Derek.
My baseball background, everyone asks, about
listen, you might want to edit that. I don't know. There could be a possibility of a batting cage, but I don't know if it's been.
I'm just going to put you on the spot. And all that stuff. Yeah, you said it on the podcast. You know, that's coming.
Hey, for all the listeners out there, and that could be one person, we don't know. I did not say we're getting batting cages. I said it might be a possibility of batting cages.
Yeah, you know, we'll see. Wishful thinking. Maybe I dreamt it or something. But the East Branch is having updates. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, people don't know. I mean, we have 5 courts, indoor tennis courts, full tennis courts out at the East Branch indoors. You can play year-round. It doesn't matter what the weather is. If it's cold outside, if it's raining, you know, you can come in and play tennis or pickleball. And I don't think a lot of people know that either. And your membership gets you into both facilities. That's also one of the misconceptions people have is like, oh, do I need a separate membership for the East Branch?
That's a good point you're making.
You do not. You get 2 for the price of 1. So we were very lucky to have the tennis facility as well. And I definitely encourage people to go out there. If you haven't been out there, and you don't even have to play. I mean, we have classes where you can learn how to play tennis, you know?
Absolutely.
We have so many classes. It's crazy.
It's, you know, that's the one thing that we have lots of community assets.
Yeah.
We have 2 swimming pools. We have tennis courts. And when I look at, you know, what we have to offer for the community, it's definitely a community need. I often say, can you imagine Findlay, Ohio without a YMCA? And if you start to imagine that, you can start to imagine what would disappear in our community. You would lose childcare, you would lose tennis, you would lose swimming, you would lose Feed a Child. You know, of course, we have great organizations around us, but we are the cornerstone of this community.
Yeah.
And I'm putting that out there. Is we have a lot to offer for our community,
and
without the Y, we wouldn't be who we are today as a Findlay. So
couldn't agree with you more. And even before I worked there, you know, I was involved with the Y. You know, it's weird. You know,
Yeah.
I had to have the Y in my own life before I even worked there. Now I'm luckily blessed to work.
You know, Derek, we talk about our history too. Do you know when we were founded here in Ohio?
Oh,
we're gonna put you on the spot.
Now you're putting me on the
spot. Can I ask the questions?
Oh, you can ask the questions. When we were founded in Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't have a clue.
1888.
1888. That would make sense.
It's our password, isn't it?
That is our Wi-Fi password. Yeah. Okay. And if you want to talk about fun facts, the game of basketball was invented at a YMCA. Look at that fun fact.
Yep, and Father's Day.
Yeah, so a lot of things founded at the YMCA. I learned stuff every day. The stuff that was like started at the Y, or the Y was a big impactful. There's a song about the Y.
Oh, yeah.
A small nominal fee, you know, I'll sing it.
No, we don't want to get fined.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, it's 1888. I guess
1888. We had a lot of history. We were founded in 1888, and we were on, I believe at the time it was on Main Street. Lots of fires within our history of the YMCA, which is how we got brought to Lincoln. Was there was a fire on the Sandusky Street YMCA, if I'm remembering correctly, and it brought us to the Lincoln Street. So.
And then it flooded in 07, right?
Oh, in 07 we had the major flood.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, when you looked up from the aerial view, right, down, there was an island. We didn't have any water, but it got into our basement, like most individuals, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But as we do at the Y, we just keep pushing on, you know?
You are right.
You take 5 steps back and 10 steps forward.
Yep.
You know?
That's all you can do.
It's what we do.
And you got to give props to the community and our donors, believing in the mission, and the people that show up every day.
Yeah.
That work so hard. You know, I can't say enough about that. We have individuals that come in at, say, 6 a.m. and they don't leave till 6 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
And why? Why do they do that? Because they believe in the Y, and they believe in making such an incredible impact
1,000%.
for kids, adults, seniors, and most importantly, our community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing about the capital campaign. That's great to know, too.
Yeah, if people have questions, I know there's going to be questions, please reach out to me.
Sure.
Love to set up coffee dates or lunches, or just, stop by the office, email me. We can talk more about that.
Love it. Awesome. We're going to stray away from YMCA topics a little bit.
Oh,
because I'm going to ask you who your favorite singer is.
Oh,
and
Derek.
Please, for the love of God, do not say Taylor Swift.
Okay, now listen.
Or JoJo Siwa, because I've seen enough of her to last me a lifetime as well. Recently.
My 5-year-old son, we don't even talk about Taylor Swift. And yeah, I won't talk. But anyway, he was at a doctor's office and had to get a cavity filled. Yep, I'm Mother of the Year, right? Cavity filled, and he kind of has some gas, and they said laughing gas. Let me make mention of it.
I was going to ask. I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah, sorry about that. And the doctor says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And he says, "Taylor Swift."
Oh boy! Hey, you know what? Hey, he has dreams. Can't fall for his dreams.
Yeah. So singer, what was your question again?
Who's your favorite singer?
Gosh.
Or what kind of music do you listen to?
I definitely would have to say I'm anywhere from Christian to country.
Yeah.
It's kind of right now, if you'd open my iPhone, that's what I listen to.
Sure.
It kind of goes back and forth.
Okay.
Songs, singers. Gosh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one.
Yeah, that's fair. What do you listen to, some Casting Crowns?
Yeah, they're good.
Casting Crowns is my favorite. We go way back.
Yeah.
Casting Crowns. And country.
Country.
You like new country, like old country, like Alan Jackson?
Both.
Garth Brooks,
go back to Toby Keith. That really hit me hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toby Keith was a great singer, had some great songs, and I think one that probably touched me the most was his last song he sung, his newest one.
I don't know. I'm not a big country fan.
You're going to ask me too quickly, but...
It wasn't Red Solo Cup, was it?
No, but he did sing that, right?
He did sing that song. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... with country music, I'm not a big fan of country music, but, old country, with my grandparents grew up, Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks, that's my sweet spot.
Yeah, you're right. Garth Brooks.
But I don't listen to much country. I'm more of a hip-hop, old-school hip-hop, R&B kind of guy.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. That's kind of where my sweet spot is, I like some...
You got a favorite singer, then?
I would probably say my favorite singer, probably Usher, but I can also get down to some Marvin Gaye, too. Old school Marvin Gaye. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm a kind of an old soul,
Yeah.
But I usually say, I don't really have favorite. If it's a good song, I'll listen to it. It doesn't matter if it's rock, Christian rap, hip-hop, country, metal, screamo. I don't really do screamo.
Oh, see, I can't do that.
I'll try anything once. I'll say that. So I won't fault people that listen to screamo, to each their own.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's
the beauty of God's creation, right?
Yes.
We're all created differently, and that's why
we
work so well together.
It's great. So, did favorite singer. What's your favorite food?
Man, my kids ask me this a lot. They always want to know my favorite color, favorite singer, and then they always ask me my favorite food. And it just depends on the season. Now, hear me out, okay?
I'm really interested where this is going to go.
Yeah, because it's going to go a little crazy.
Depends on the season,
It depends on the season, like summer. When I think of summer, I think of corn on the cob and watermelon, grilled hamburgers. Those are great, right?
Girl,
but then,
oof.
Yeah. So then if you switch seasons and you bring it to a fall, it's chili. I mean, who doesn't love chili in the fall? You don't like chili? Oh, baloney, Derek.
I like white chili, but I know that's not like real chili. I don't like it.
You don't?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Oh, my.
I just can't. I've tried it a lot. I don't.
Okay, well, see, there you have it. When fall chili.
Yeah.
Winter?
Chili.
Maybe I hibernate and I don't eat. I don't know.
you eat all that chili in the fall, and then you just don't eat in the winter.
I can't come up with anything for winter, so my whole theory just went down the drain because I can't come up with anything for winter. You think of Christmas and you think of candy canes, but
it's not really.
No,
it's a candy.
Yeah, it's a candy. That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pizza is probably mine. It's such a basic, generic answer, but
pizza's good.
Yeah, love pizza. A lot of good pizza places in town. By the way.
Oh yeah,
a lot. And some not so good ones, but I'm not going to mention those. But I also eat probably like a 5-year-old, so I eat like mac and cheese.
We got kids.
Mac and cheese, yeah.
It's hard being parents and
a lot of chicken nuggets.
Lots of nuggets.
Yeah. Thank God I work at the Y, so I'm not like 1,000 pounds and able to. I used to sit there and I'm like, I tell people, come in here and be healthy, mind, body, and spirit, and your mental health, physical health as well. And I sat there and just kept gaining weight and weight and weight and weight. And I was like 310, which I've never been that in my life.
Was this around the pandemic?
Yeah. And then I had a conversation with a member, and I was like, hey, you want to lose weight? Like, you're on. And ever since then, we've lost like 60, 70 pounds.
That's amazing.
Yeah, with just a member. I was like...
That's amazing.
And it was so random. Because he kept talking about it. He wanted to lose weight. I said, hey, I'll do it with you. He's, all right, let's do it. So, anyway, that's way off the topic.
No, it's...
but I know we're talking about
relationship.
food, but now I'm thinking about lunch.
Yeah, what time is it?
11:40, so it's about
lunch.
that time for me to get my normal chicken and rice.
Yeah, that's all you ever eat.
Yeah. I guess, before we close out, is there anything or any advice you would give to anybody, I guess, in their work life or their personal life or challenges that you've worked through that...
Yeah, there's, I don't give myself enough credit to say that I could give advice because I don't know if I give sound advice. But
you do.
I appreciate that. I do know that everyone's going through something, and you hear that a lot. And kindness matters. Stepping back and sitting in your seat and realizing, people are struggling with something. And I would tell you that the Y could be the outlet to that, is building relationships, coming in. We have great staff that can help you through, a time where you maybe want to lose like you did, or maybe you're just struggling with depression or whatever. Exercise is a good medicine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Personally, in my life, been through lots of battles that everyone has them, right? Sure. But I would tell you right now that the Y got me through my battles. Yeah. And some of those that kind of what I went through, I don't know if I care to share, but it was walking into those doors that it made me get through the battles that I had. And of course, God.
Of course, yeah.
I think you gave me a sign that said,
let go
and let God. And it's something I actually have it in my office. You walk by every day. So I don't know if that's any advice, Derek.
No, it's
now we're getting sappy, so
trying to get emotional here today. I was expecting to get teary-eyed, but thank you for sharing. And just like I said before, like seeing you continue to show up every day with everything you have going on currently, what you had going on in the past, truly is inspiring. And like I said, and I meant that earlier when I say, when I'm thinking I'm having a bad day and I got a lot going on, I can look across the hall and be like, okay, well, Stephanie's doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, all right, suck it up here. So I appreciate you, and I think I probably speak for all of our staff when I say that. We couldn't have a better leader leading the YMCA for us as a staff and for the community as well. So
now, Derek, stop! You're going to get me all teary-eyed. I appreciate that.
No,
I'm learning every day. I have lots. I love the position, but I love that people give me grace too, knowing that I'm only going to my 3rd year, so
you're doing great.
Lots of people reaching out, and who you are that are mentoring me and checking on me, and I adore every one of the staff too. Just everything you do. I appreciate you more than I know.
You're the best. I can say that for everybody. So, with that, I'm always going to close off the podcast with a joke.
Okay. Oh dear.
You're going to hear the first joke of the day.
Do I do a drum roll?
I need to get some sound effects in here. Maybe we'll work up to that. So the joke is, you ready for it?
Yep.
So Jesus, Moses, and an old guy are playing golf.
Okay.
Moses goes first. He tees off, hits a shot right in the water. He walks up to the water, spreads the water, chips his ball right on the green. Jesus goes, "Nice shot, Moses." Thank you, Jesus. So Jesus is next. Jesus steps up to the tee box. He hits his shot. His goes right to the water. So what does Jesus do? He walks over to the water, walks right on top of it, gets his ball, hits it, chips it right onto the green.
Okay.
Moses said, "Jesus, that's a fine shot." He goes, "Thanks, Moses." So the old guy's back there, and he's thinking, what in the world is going on? He's like, whatever. I might as well hit my shot. So he hits his shot. Terrible shot. But a gust of wind comes and blows his ball all the way to the water. The ball goes all the way down to the bottom. About then, a carp comes up with the ball. About 3 feet out of the water, jumps out of the water. And then a big heron comes flying out of the woods, grabs the ball, flies it 300 yards to the green, drops the ball on the green. And right then, a squirrel comes out of the woods, nudges the ball right into the hole. And Jesus looks up and he says, "Nice shot, Dad." So with that, I bid you farewell to today's episode. Thank you again, Stephanie, for coming today.
Thanks for having me, Derek.
We appreciate you coming in, and thank you to the University of Findlay for letting us use their facilities to record this podcast. So, as a reminder, if there's one thing you do today, put a smile on somebody's face.
Love it.
Draper out.